Hello, how you guys doing? James here. Well, I got some interesting videos about today's relationship and the reason why some men are going to probably be, in previous videos, is going to be leaving women, some women here, not all, but some who got this kind of mindset. We're going to examine the mindset of some American women in in these videos. But first person up, Andre. And this, he got a message for you.
It's not the first time that we've heard of this, but a lot of plantation bros are starting to come on board when it comes to understanding the passport bro movement. One of those individuals is our brother on the YouTube channel, The Coffee Pod. Trez Charzed, I hope I pronounced your name correctly, brother, is the brother that is letting guys know it's time for you to get your passports. I'm Andre of Andre and Andre's Love Crossing Borders, and you're watching the Travel Unravel edition. Click on that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get started with doing a reaction to a reaction video that was done by Cesar Zed, YouTuber. Make sure you subscribe to the Coffee Pot on YouTube. He does excellent reactionary videos, and this video confirms why men should start getting your passports.
Y'all,
You're right.
both of y'all, if y'all think that I'm up here being some type of way because I don't need neither one of y'all for shit. Listen, I'm about to roll out because I don't like the disrespect.
And of course you're asking, well, what was she yelling about? Well, they talked about a lot. They talked about, because I actually listened to a little bit of the long form. The first one I saw was the video, but they talked about a lot. They talked about marriage, divorce, and how women and men differ when it comes to women denying men sex, why they do that, why men are able to sacrifice more than women when it comes to what they want, happiness within a relationship. Women leave marriages to pursue happiness. All that stuff we talk about here on the Coffee Pot. But the question that ticked her off the most, to when she just lost it, was when the host asked her, would you be willing to cooperate with a man and submit to him and listen to a man who asks you to do something without talking back? And then,
Before he goes any further, let's elaborate on that. Sometimes men in the States, I blame you. I'm serious. There are times when it comes to men in the United States, I blame you because you ask questions or have expectations of women in the States that are not the norm. And I'm not saying this flippantly, and I'm not coming at it as an attack on women or on the men that are in the United States. But if you know something that is not the norm in the States, why are you guys acting so surprised when women show forth certain behavior patterns that are the norm in the States? I give you a perfect example. 70% of women in the African American community are considered obese. That's just the norm in the United States. So to sit back and try to criticize women in the United States for being overweight, well, that's the norm. And so it is when it comes to cooperation and accountability. You already know, fellas, that it is not the norm for women in the United States to be known for their submissiveness, their giving you peace, their cooking skills, their accountability. It's not normal. It's not, once these cameras go off, it's not something that you're going to see on a daily basis. So guys, once again, let's not act so surprised when men and women act like they normally do in the United States.
That's what I'm saying. Are you willing to listen to what a man say he wants? And
you see the face that she's making? Soon as he said, are you willing? The word will in this definition means that you have decided, you've confirmed, and you've come to the final conclusion that you will do something or you won't do something. And then you wonder why a lot of men are getting their passports and would rather fly to another country, seek and search for different women in different cultures, learn a whole nother language instead of just traveling the 50 states in which they have. because men in the United States already know for the most part the pickings are slim no matter what state they go to.
Apply to those things without any, like, you got to rebuttal. Exactly, rebuttal.
Hell no.
That's bullshit.
Hell no.
Why?
Because I know.
I'm saying if he take care of you, you take care of you.
I'm an empowered woman.
You heard what she said. She said she's empowered. In what way? I'd love for her to explain this.
Let's hear more.
And it doesn't really matter what you do for me because I'm able to do it for myself. And if kissing is required,
what? That ain't got nothing to do with it. That ain't kissing.
I just said I don't like
that. Ain't. No, we ain't talking about no right now. We
Okay.
got over that.
Okay.
He asked you a question that you're trying to get away from.
Right.
No,
Right.
That's how they get away from the answer.
Right.
Hey, bro, she did. That's how they get away from it. That's how they get away from it.
By the way, shout out to Jake Stanley. He is a comedian right there.
They ask you some dumb shit and get you confused. Because we get confused easy. A man confuses real easy. Mm-hmm. And she tried to... Now, she fucked me up quick. Glad you called. If a man asking you for things, can you talk about his feelings without bringing yours up?
Sure.
Shit. Well, that shit did not sound confident. Shit. Like, goddamn.
I can listen.
Oh, okay. So, why didn't that not sound confident?
Can you not talk? More specifically, can you not yell at the top of your lungs to see what?
Because you listen, but would you comply? Would you understand?
I would understand, and I would comply if those things are within reason for me.
She said she would comply if those things are within reason, within her definition of what should be complied with and what shouldn't be. And once again, I'm saying this to you guys that are across the United States who are plantation bros, who are trying to convince us, hey guys, if you just go across these 50 states, it'll be different. You'll find at least one person. You know how large the United States is, and you expect us who have passports, who know that if they go directly to a certain country, that the whole country of women, for the most part, have been raised to be cooperative, supportive, family women, as well as independent or interdependent and professional women. A whole country. You can go there and get that from Brazil, Colombia, Thailand, even parts of Germany, as well as women that are in many countries in Africa. And yet you want us to go across 50 states with the assumption that we will finally find that one woman that doesn't behave like most women in the United States normally behaves.
Listen to understand nobody. No.
I'm gonna tell you.
Y'all listen. And while y'all listening, y'all feel the
we are no longer. We're not in the 60s, baby. We are in 2024, which is really equivalent to 2054.
Let's pause again. I've heard this over and over again coming from the mouths of American women. They look at women that raised them, fed them, clothed them, paid or helped pay for their college education, made sure that they had a roof over their head and food in their stomachs, and yet for the last 4 or 5 years have been mocking these women for what they've accomplished.
We're in a new age now. The future is feminine. Why the you think I must cater to what your needs are?
Nobody ain't say that.
Let me tell you what we're going to do first of all. First of all, what we're going to do is talk about my needs.
Hey there, it's Maddie. So, investing is one of the best ways to inflation-proof your wealth, right?
And once my needs are met, then I'll think about meeting your goddamn needs.
She's not the only one. Let's not mock this young lady, because there are many women in the United States that actually believe that the future is feminine. That oil rigs are going to be dug by women. All the welding will be taking place by women. Auto mechanics as well as auto manufacturers will be women. Major CEOs of corporations and major inventors will be women. The future is women, and the way they're putting out the propaganda, they're already convincing many of you men to believe, well, at least in the United States, focus on your masculine as well as your feminine energies. We all have those. No other country in the world that I've traveled to talks like that. Well, at least in real countries. Now in the West, such as UK and Canada, yes, you talk like that. You focus on the masculine energy within a man. But you also have convinced men to believe in their feminine energy. And at the same time, when I've traveled to all the other countries around the world that are not Canada, United States, or UK, no group of women or group of men emphasizes or talks about the feminine energy within a man.
Gentlemen, I've never said this before. I've never said this before. Get your passport.
That sounds familiar. I don't know where we've heard that before. Let me think about it.
I've never said this before. I've never advocated for this before. I'm gonna let Quentin and Altuman have it after this.
This is crazy.
I've never ever said this that I'm about to say right now, and I didn't think that I would ever come to this point. It's time to get y'all passports.
Anton Daniels officially says, men, you should get your passports. Yeah, that's where we heard it before. A lot of men who were not on board with what we were doing as Passport Bros now understand it. So let's talk about the Passport Bro movement and the 3 pillars of why men, black, white, Latin, and others, are relocating outside of the United States. Let's get this out of the way. The 3 pillars, or the 3 legs of the Passport Bro movement is this. First, Passport Bros are men that are relocating to other countries for a better lifestyle, whether it be better cost of living, meaning they can get a bang for their buck by buying a piece of property in another country instead of trying to buy a piece of property in the United States, which is expensive. Having a peace of mind, or learning another language, another culture. That's why men are leaving. Men are finally being treated like Americans. We're just not in America. And none of you can tell me that you have ever been called an American in America. Second leg of the Passport Bro movement is laws. Yes, men, you can find love in the United States, but you will not find laws that are conducive to most males. For example, 30% of all child support payments are being made by men, in which the courts have already deemed as not the fathers, and yet the courts in the United States say you still have to pay child support. These same courts have followed the laws that are in the United States, and these laws say that if your woman marries you and she decides to leave after all that you guys have built, she gets half of what all you've accomplished prior to as well as in the marriage. Also, you have situations where men who do get incarcerated for crimes in which they committed, but yet if a woman commits that crime, they don't even get half the amount of time that a man would get. What's my point? There are too many laws that are aimed against men, and for us to stay there because of the laws that are in place is asinine. The second pillar of why we're leaving the United States: first, lifestyle. Number 2, the laws in the United States cause men to say enough is enough. And number 3, yes, the ladies, or for love. At the end of the day, men are human beings, and we have a threshold like you ladies have a threshold. There's only so much that you ladies will take, yet there's only so much that us men will take. And historically, men have always been explorers. So yes, we are leaving partly, not completely, but partly because there are more family-oriented, more traditional women in other countries, as well as women that have educations. I mean, so many female professionals here in Colombia that are excellent women. So next time someone says to you, what's a passport bro, and what are they doing? Do realize, passport bros are men that are relocating outside the United States because they want better lifestyles, better laws, and yes, better ladies.
Just in case, I'm not a passport bro, man. My wife's from Chicago. She's American. She's black. Beautiful, wonderful. But just in case, bro.
I'm gonna tell y'all, a grooming woman. She's a groomer. She want to groom a man.
That's right. I do.
This is
I
why.
do. I build a man and I make make him into what I want him to be. That's what I do.
God damn. How long you been in your relationship now?
90 days.
That.
Can't make this shit up, bro. That's the success story there of a modern woman in a relationship. Mercy.
This coffee smells like shit.
Yes.
Boy, that's a rough one. That's a rough 90. I'll tell you just right
Don't
here.
tell her about your
This is
feelings.
the reason that old civil rights bullshit and all that old woman bullshit. This is the reason why shit right now. You know, y'all talk about the ladies in the 60s and the 50s and shit like that, but they had real families and had real wealth and had land and everything.
Damn right.
Yeah, because my great aunt, shit, called me when I was down there, what, 40-something, talking about selling some land they had for years.
Yeah, but those women were severely suppressed.
You say that,
Those
but
women
they
were
had
severely.
shit.
I am
my
not. We're
aunt
not
sold
suppressed
that.
anymore.
Oh, you say
Those
they
women were
suppressed?
severely suppressed.
Okay, give me an example of one.
Meaning,
That word listen
a lot of them were not
triggers
able to
women.
step out and use their creative gifts for what they want to.
What do you mean?
They were only able to use them to build a home.
Okay, how many women
What?
are creative here? They were only able to use their creative abilities to build the most important aspects of all society. I'll say this again. I commend all the women
Right.
throughout the countries and throughout history that have built with their ingenuity the strongest threshold foundation of what it takes to build a society,
Exactly.
a family. You cannot have a society without a family. Families build communities. Communities build cities, and so forth and so forth. So for women who are such as this young lady that we're speaking about, and I know some of you ladies are thinking, well, I'm not like that. Well, guess what? How this young lady thinks is the norm among young ladies in the United States. It's the norm. And remember,
And I'm going to interject right here. You know, that's I don't know what she talking about when it comes to something like that. You have women that were seamstress that invented items that made themselves self-sufficient and rich, and they were married. What is the problem with submitting your husband? But they remained married for their husbands for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. No, it's a different of a generation. That's what basically what he's saying.
as I start this video off, criticizing men in the United States for being upset and going to social media, expecting women to be any more or any less than what they normally are. This is the United States, gentlemen. This is the norm. Embrace it. Accept it, my Dr. Umar plantation bro brethren. This is your country. These are your women. Even though they're our sisters, these are your women.
That's true.
Yes, give me
A lot of women have creative gifts. A lot of women are running successful businesses.
Okay, I gotta stay, I have to stay, don't I? Alright, let's keep watching.
Nowadays.
Right.
And it ain't
No, they're
just
not.
about me building a home or cooking your food or ironing your clothes. It's not just about that anymore. Women are using their energies and their powers to
Get in debt. These women have debt, useless degrees, mentally unstable. Exhibit A, this chick that we're about to get back to right here. The fact that women think that women today are better off, when we all know, just go talk to a woman, bro. Go ask them, hey, how's dating going for you? Trash. Absolutely terrible. If things are so great, why the women who have the most opportunity, which they should, the most miserable, let's keep listening.
things for themselves that women back in the day prayed and wished they could do.
Okay, so
What, have you seen The Color Purple?
nope. I don't even
You
wanna
haven't
look at
seen The
that
Color Purple, not even the
I
movie.
saw it.
I don't like
Okay,
that shit.
I saw
if you
Color
look at it, Celia was in a relationship with Mister where she was suppressed as a woman. She
Shut up. What a horrible, horrible example.
had creative gifts, but she could not use her gifts for what she wanted to do because every time she felt empowered, he would drain her energy from her body, climbing on top of her. Anytime a man is climbing on top of you, and he don't believe in you, he don't believe in your dreams, he'll make you late for your shit.
I'm gonna give away this incredible $4,000.
Oh.
What's good, Black Star Podcast? Welcome back to Challenge, your boy Jared. Y'all, again, my mic's still messed up, so just understand for the next few videos or a couple of videos, the mic's quality is gonna be a little trash. So, please bear with me as I go through this trying time of getting a new mic for this podcast. But anyways,
Bitch. Who would do such stupidity?
Oh. Yeah, your girl Kendra is, she got these people that bugging on here. We got another elder, 56, makes 100, wants a man to make 150K and be the head of the household. Oh my Jesus.
Hi, Kendra. I was just laughing at you.
And we about to be laughing at you.
Too much damn going on. Tracy, working at stop. You know, you shouldn't call me. Tracy, where you calling from? Actually, I'm calling you from Dallas, Texas, but I'm from Chicago. Yes. You're coming? Okay, I'm sorry, Tracy. And where you live, honey? I live in Dallas, Texas, but I was born and raised in Chicago. Okay, you live in Dallas, but from Chicago. How old are you, Tracy? 56. Okay, 56. What's your zodiac sign? I'm an Aquarius. Aquarius. And what do you do for a living? I work for the government. The government. Do you have any children? I have 4 children. Okay, how old are your 4 kids? Oh, 37, 28, 23, and 22. All right, we got Tracy, Dallas, 56, Aquarius, government. She works for the government. Mine are 4, are your 4 kids by the same man? Yes, and I was married to that man for 30 years. Oh, what happened? Lifestyles changed. I married when I was 19. So, you know, as you get older, lifestyles change. There's nothing wrong with that. Just got to be able to accept it and move on. So you got married at 19 and you got divorced, what is that, 49? Yes. So you got divorced like about 7 years ago? No. I got divorced 2.5 years ago. Oh, 2.5 years ago. So you got divorced at 54. Married for 33 years. I just called it 30. Why did y'all get divorced after 33 years? It was his decision, and you know what? Sometimes you just gotta accept it and move forward. You can't dwell on it. You let a person be the person they want to be. Well, that's fair. That's definitely true. So. She got divorced 2.5 years ago. What kind of man you looking for now? Oh, I'm looking for a head of household, Kendra, and if they don't know what head of household means, that means they're not spiritual or religious, none whatsoever. I am that woman that believes that a woman should be submissive, but only submissive by biblical standard. And if a man...
By biblical standards. Say what now?
He can be a head of household, he can have me.
Who want a damn near 60-year-old woman that thinks she's all that? Cause ain't nobody really about to be looking for your old crusty ass. But I mean, that's just me saying that.
Those who don't understand what you mean by head of household, do you mind explaining the requirements for that title? Yes, there's a requirement. To be a head of household, you have to be able to protect, provide, and make a safe place for you, yourself, and your family. Those who are connected to you. And if you can't do that, you're not a head of household.
And what the hell does it mean to be spiritually submissive? I swear y'all love coming up with fucking words out of the crack of your ass, and it makes no damn sense.
You're not head of household if you can't do that. Okay. So what are your deal breakers besides not the head of the household?
Kendra, I will try not to put too many deal breakers down because that's one of my things I need to work on. Not having so many deal breakers. But I need someone that is spiritual or have a religious belief system, does not believe in that will not commit infidelity, period.
Okay. What are you offering? Just offer that alone. What are you really offering? You're 56 years old. A man in his 50s and 60s ain't gonna be looking for you. Let's see.
Does not emotionally abuse his spouse with words, verbal abuse. I want somebody who is empathetic to not just me, himself and others. And I also like him to have emotional intelligence and can hold a mature conversation and communicate well. I find that communication is the key to everything, and I'm the type that doesn't make an assumption. I don't judge.
Hold on. Lady. Emotional intelligence. Men have emotional intelligence. You women don't. A lot of women will dog on what a lot of women will see a man that's going through something, won't even ask him what the hell going on. As long as he's doing something for her, she don't give a damn. So if you really want to be honest here, who's more emotionally intelligent? I would say men are. Because if we really told you about yourselves, y'all would be emotionally hurt. So emotional intelligence, yeah, we have more of that than y'all do. Because there's a lot of things that a lot of men can say about y'all that y'all feelings will be hurt.
People, and I really like people who can just be themselves and let me decide if I like you being yourself.
Woo! Tracy said, listen, don't play with it. Okay? Do you want to get married again?
Right now, Kendra, I just want to probably start a relationship. I'm not sure if I want to get married again. I mean, I was married for my whole entire lifetime, and it will take a special man with a lot of great qualities to make me want to marry again. However, I'm interested in a relationship, and if it moves to that point, that's even better.
Then what are you talking about infidelity? Because if you're in a relationship, that don't necessarily mean that y'all together. It could be a situationship, an emotional relationship. It could be just a genuine friendship. But y'all want exclusivity without being exclusive yourselves. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into it, but we'll see.
Okay. Now, let's go, let's keep going. Should he look a certain way?
Kendra, I love the gray beard men. They are gorgeous. I like them so, but I am attracted to all races, all colors. But them gray haired men, they are gorgeous.
Okay. What about money? Should he make a certain amount of money as the head of the household? I'm assuming he has to.
Exactly, but let me explain. Because you got some haters on that, Kendra, and I'm finna break this down so the haters understand it a little bit better. I come with 3 paychecks, not one. And I got my act together, And if you want to be with me, 100 ain't gonna cut it for me. You're gonna have to come with close to 150, 200, because I got my own. And I'm not looking for a man to contribute to me.
If you're not looking for a man to contribute to you, then why are you asking for a man that makes 150K? You said you said 100 just ain't gonna cut it. You acting like you got all the damn fucking marbles in the basket. Like, you literally acting like you 20-something years old asks for a man that makes 150K. You are a 56-year-old talking about 100K just ain't gonna cut it. Who the fuck do you think you is? Like, literally, you talk about you don't need nobody to add to you, but then why is the money gonna matter? I'm trying to, boy, I got a feeling when you start trying to go off on these damn comments, I got a feeling that we gonna see her true self and not this made up person that she's trying to be.
I'm not looking for a man I need to build. I'm looking for a man that we can get together and be that power couple we're supposed to be.
A damn power couple, bitch. You are damn old. What are you talking about, power couple? You should have been a power couple with your husband. You talking about a man. You're talking about a man that you date and you want to be a power couple with. What is he going to do with you? If he's already built himself up to where he's making over 150K, that's not him. You're not a power couple. He built himself up and you just came for the ride. And 9 times out of 10, it's a guy that you weren't even checking for when you was in your 50s. I mean, in your 20s. What? Oh my Jesus.
Tracy said she got 3 paychecks, not a 1, not a 2, not a. She got a 3 paychecks. 100K, that's little kid talk. Don't come to her with no little 100K. 150 and up, she said.
I bring it to the table, Kendra, so I should expect a man to bring it to the table. I worked since I was 19. I was able to build a career, got 2 master's degrees, did everything I was supposed to do. However, at the same time, I don't...
Wait a minute. Repeat that, man.
Bring it to the table. I worked since I was 19.
Everybody's worked since they were 19.
Yes.
Was able to build a career, got 2 master's degrees, did...
Yeah, like a 2 master's degree means something, man.
Right.
Everything I was supposed to do. However, at the same time, I don't think I'm better than anybody. I just know that I got...
If you don't think you're better than anybody, then why the hell did you bring up you working since 19,
right,
building yourself up in your career and having 2 master's degrees?
Right.
Because if you're not trying to be supposedly, quote unquote, saying that you're better than somebody, then why would you bring up what your accomplishments were in your earlier years? Because apparently those accomplishments don't mean jack shit to anybody because you're still single.
Right.
Got my stuff together now. I want you to have yours together.
I got a question. Your husband, I'm assuming, made that much or more?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Tracy, don't...
Then why did he divorce you?
Right. Right.
Because if he made that much money, then why did he divorce you?
Right.
Stay with it. Tracy, right. I've seen this said at times in the comments, so I'm going to let you respond. Okay? Now, you seasoned woman, 56 years old. What would you say to the men, because I usually see this from men, not necessarily women, that would say, at that age, 150K is an unrealistic request. Men in that age category usually want young girls, 32 or something like that. So what would your response be to the men that would feel as though that amount is too high for your age?
She about to expose herself. Watch this.
I would tell them to go ahead and find that 20 and 30-year-old that cannot contribute to anything in your life and keep it moving. That is not important to me. You can do whatever you like, but if a man wants me and he's in my age range between 46 and 60 years old, baby, come get me. The rest...
Nobody wants you, you broad. Oh my Jesus. Nobody wants you, man. 48, 46 to 60, ain't nobody looking for you. Ain't nobody checking for you.
No.
Let me run down the list now. Let's run down that list, shall we? 4 kids, 33 years of marriage. You're wanting a man that's making $150K. You are coming with all of this debt. You're coming with no tangibles. You're talking about you made 3 checks. Okay, cool. So what? And you have this attitude about yourself that I could have spotted a mile away. But yet, you have all these standards, and yet you're saying this raggedy ass shit.
Too high for your age.
Out. Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. It turns out one of the fastest growing segments of
IT professionals, what if you could earn upwards of $250,000 a year while working less?
You know, when you look at these big quiches, they're trying their hardest to get men to want to be with them. It's real desperate, right? And the reason why they having issues is appearance. It's strictly appearance. And the reason why they have issues with it is because they don't like being told if they want to have a better outcome, they need to go to the gym. They're lazy. All they do is eat face stuffers, right? So if you tell them, listen, the reason why you're not getting the outcomes you want is because of your appearance, they take offense to that. We seen them, call. I just seen a video of Keisha calling a dude fat, calling him big, calling him that, called him that, and guess what? He wasn't upset about it. He knew he was big. He wasn't upset about it. You like, and he wasn't upset about it because it's the truth. It's the truth. But when you get that same energy back, you don't like it. And the men that they want the same type of men that women that are actually fit are going for. They want the same type of men, which is insane. Fit women are going for fit men. You can't get that. Fit, not just fit men, fit, productive men. That's the men they want. You're invisible. Nobody's checking for you. You know why? You got DoorDash on speed dial. You eat bad. You eat nasty. Greasy foods. Sucking down cola. Drinking alcohol.
Smoking cigarettes.
Listen to this. Listen to what she had to say.
On this app, it's getting so bad that now the fat people are having fat phobia. Like, it's no reason that another person.
First of all, what's fat phobia? Nobody's afraid of you. You should be afraid. You should be afraid. You should be afraid of that heart attack around the corner and diabetes living next door. You should be afraid. Nobody's afraid of y'all.
Telling other plus size women now that she lost some weight that you should lose weight because the men you want will want you then. Y'all still have not figured out how men work. Y'all haven't been around enough men. Please, 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 come in, have a seat. The men you want don't want you because you don't even want you. Now that's the real truth. Me?
Now how slow is that? The men don't want you because you don't want you. So you saying that if a woman that is an 8, let's say she's an 8, and she has self-esteem issues, right? Men is not going to want her. Men is not
not going to care about her self-esteem issues. They're not. She looks good. We can work on that later. She looks good. Big Keisha, if you're big, right, and you have self-esteem issues, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have self-esteem issues or if you're confident. I don't know what you'll be confident of, but even if you're confident, guess what? It's still the same. Maybe the way you feel about yourself changed, but guess what didn't change? That dress size. That didn't change. You still 2 something.
People just choose to live in these silos of information where they're going to get coverage that makes.
What's going on, fellas? As you guys can see, I am back in the United States. I have some family stuff to take care of. I'm going to be here for a couple of weeks. And there's going to be a flurry of videos coming because I'm telling you guys right now, I have a new appreciation for living in Brazil, bro. There is no way that I can live here. But we're going to get to that. But let's talk about this. I don't want to hear ish about passport bros, traveling passport bros, digital nomads, the men who travel, right? We're living our best lives. We're going to these other countries having a good time, but we're not causing mayhem, okay? We have some sister girls in Vietnam causing mayhem, and it's on camera. We're going to get to this, all right? So we travel. We try to, as men, we try to make sure that we are not pissing off the locals. And it seems like we have a selective group, once again, that is causing mayhem. I'm going to play this video in its full entirety. I'm not going to stop it because I know you guys get mad at me, but let's get to it. And in this video, I'm going to say, I told you so. This is in Vietnam. I said I wasn't going to stop the video, but this is recent in Vietnam. Causing mayhem on the street. Causing mayhem on the street. Ma'am, you do not go to these other countries causing mayhem, whether you are right or you are wrong. Let me get to the big screen. You go to Vietnam. You're having a dispute on the street in Vietnam. These people can literally, if they wanted to, they can turn you into chop suey. Like, what are we, like, why are we going to these other countries acting a fool in the street? If there's a dispute, you handle it with respect because you are a visitor in these countries. And I don't understand why they don't get this, because we can just do a recall real quick in case y'all forgot, okay? In case y'all forgot, we had the incident in Mexico, right? They had a little tussle between 2 sister girls. One of the sister girls passed away in Mexico. They did an investigation and nobody's been arrested, but her friends knocked her off. Remember that? Remember Brittany Griner bringing illegal substances into Russia? We had to get China Joe Biden to bail her out. Sleepy Joe had to bail her out. Remember that? What about in Bali? Remember Bali? A couple of months ago in Bali, we had the sister girls that got into a issue in the nail salon over $18, and they tried to flee the scene. They tried to get on the airplane, and then they arrested them. Remember that? What about the sister girl causing mayhem in Thailand? She broke a bunch of windows of a salon, and remember she was bald-headed. Remember her? And then she tried to flee the country, and they got her too. Remember that? And she was bumming money off of Thai people. How you gonna go to Thailand and bum money off of the Thai people as an American? That's a disgrace. So we have a history here, and I don't want to hear it, dog. Y'all want to sit here, and then we have the sister girls doing the Delta line stepping in the club in Cartagena, trying to run y'all out of there. But look, let's take a look. I'm gonna turn the sound down just a little bit. So take a look. She's yelling and screaming on the street. These people in Vietnam are saying, "Ma'am, calm down." You can see them towards the end of the video. Look, you see the lady in the yellow? She's saying, "Ma'am, calm down. Why are you getting angry and animated over a minor dispute? Why? Right? Calm down. Relax." But she's going crazy. She's racking up. And y'all want me to come? And y'all want to sit here and tell me to protect her? I ain't doing it. Bro, this, you know what? I say, it's out of my hands. But I'm telling you, there's going to be a point in time where one of these people in these other countries is going to start putting pause on these people. And there's nothing that we can. Oh yeah, remember one of them did kind of get pause put on. Remember the chick in Dubai, right? She was in Dubai. She had a YouTube channel. She drove trucks. Remember her? And then she got into a vehicle accident in Dubai. And then she tried to flee the scene and not try to pay for the vehicle damage. And then she was yelling and screaming at the people there. And in that country, it's against the law to yell and scream. Especially at a man. Remember that? They put her in jail for a couple of months. Remember that? So that's the problem that we're seeing here, is that we have a cadre, a certain group of women who, when you go overseas and you have a good time, they tell you, "Oh, you just going over there because you're trying to take advantage of the local population there." Let's run through that. They try to tell you, "You're trying to take advantage of the local population. You are a colonizer." I've been called a colonizer. "Oh, you just going over there to pay for it," even though you're paying for it no matter where you go, right? You're paying a lot, and even more in the United States, taking them on these fruitless excursions at these dinner dates. But we're not gonna go deep into that. And then they try to tell you and guilt trip you and do all of this type of stuff. But we are seeing here that they have shown a pattern of consistency of ignorance in these other countries, and everybody's starting to wake up. Everybody's starting to see why brothers are leaving. They're starting to see it. I see it. I mean, do you guys not see it? Being here in the United States, I've been here for 3 days, bro. 3 days. And if it wasn't for my family, bro, I would never come back. I would never come back. If it wasn't for my family, I'm kicking it with my sister. I'm kicking it with my little brother, which, by the way, my brother has a Polish girlfriend. He already know what it is. Okay? She's beautiful too. And I'm the one told him about Poland. So my mom, my dad, my siblings, my cousins, and all that type of stuff. If it wasn't for them, I will never come back to this mug. Now I will tell you, okay, I'm proud. There was a sense of pride when I got to the airport and I was here on U.S. soil. This is the first time I've been back to the United States since I retired from the Air Force, officially. Okay, so there is some pride here. There are some good things about the United States. The conducting business, creating an LLC. You got a lot of people moving and shaking. There's a lot of money going back and forth here. Okay, the dollar is very, very strong. Right? The food is freaking amazing compared to Brazil. Brazil's food is trash. Like, taste-wise, it's trash compared to the United States. They don't put any seasoning in the food. But sodium and all of these different chemicals they put in the food to make it taste great has detrimental effects. But it's freaking phenomenal. I'm having a ball out here eating now. Okay? So the United States does, and also I'm happy I serve my country. The United States is worth defending. When you come here and you see how prosperous it is, it is worth defending. So I do not regret my 20 years in the Air Force. However, when it comes to being a single guy, dating, and wanting to live my best life, quote unquote, it ain't. Doing it in the United States ain't it. Okay? Brazil is it. I am so happy I live in Brazil, bro. I've gotten a sense of urgency to buy property in Brazil since coming back here. I don't know what it is. A fear factor is like, oh shit, you know. But I want to go back to Brazil and buy some property. Like being back in the when I was in Brazil, I was having a good time. I wasn't thinking about properties and all that type of stuff. But being back here, I need to stake my claim in Brazil. I need to buy some property, a property at least, a condo, a penthouse, preferably. But that's why you guys need to travel. And I'm going to wrap this video up. That's why you guys need to travel. Go to these other countries. Go to Brazil. Go to Thailand. Go to Philippines. Go to all these different countries. That way you can get that appreciation. Because a lot of you guys don't appreciate what you got. You don't appreciate that you're making $80,000, $90,000 a year. You don't appreciate the fact that when you go to Brazil, if you're making $60,000, you're in the top 2 percentile of earners for the whole country. $60,000? Okay, you don't understand just how strong the US dollar is and how you can leverage it, right? But if you don't, like I was talking to my aunt yesterday, right? She said, you always been different. I understand why you live in Brazil. And I was like, yeah, you're right. She said, hey, go where you want to go. She said, Louisiana is too slow for me, so I moved to VA. All right, cool. I said, you know what? The United States isn't just what I want. I've traveled all over the world, and Brazil is what I want. I told you guys, I wake up every day in Brazil on my memory.
So, you see the pattern, what we're talking about, and what the men are saying, and like I mentioned in my one video, this is going to start happening, because men like him and Andre who are living overseas, and they're telling you about the good things, about the traveling, about the atmosphere, the culture, the laws, the do's and do nots, and you see how some Western women act. They carry that same spirit over to other parts of the world, and he's trying to tell you, and Andre, you can't do the same thing and carry out and be so forward spoken like you here. You have to use wisdom when you travel to another country. And with some Western, in the West, we're used to not dealing with that. We're used to just being confrontational and putting it in your face. And we don't think something like that. We think that you're weak. And that's what that mindset. You're going to take advantage. So I got to get you before you get me. And I'm going to put you, and I'll put you in your place, and so on, so on, so on. There's a way of doing it, but you got to do it with logic and sense. But we can't do it. It seems like it don't register like that here because we're confrontational. And then you see how some women, they take something to a degree and escalate it all the way up. And next thing you know, it's drama, it's chaos. I mean, gunshots, you name it. You see some women get so angry here in America when they get out to fight, busting car windows, fight and shoot. Then next thing you know, the police have to come on the scene and calm things down. It gets that bad. I mean, to the point that children are watching this and they learn how to learn and grow up with and learn that behavior on how to resolve resolution when it comes to disagreements. And some of us haven't mastered that yet. But getting back to what Andres, you see how the way the woman snapped out with the young women. That's why a lot of young women with her mindset ain't gonna keep a man, because what she put out, she insulted the women during our grandmother, the grand aunt's time, like they were suppressed. What you mean they were suppressed? They were doing what they can do to survive. Whether they would take care of someone's home, whether they would be entrepreneurs, babysitting, whatever career that they was in. To sit back and say something about the women back in the 50s and 60s is an insult. My grand aunts, some of my grand aunts were married to their husband for 40, 50 years, and up to their spouses, they passed away. So they did something right. But my secondary aunts who were born in the baby boom generation, two of my aunts never. One was married, he was kind of over abused. The other one was too career oriented, and she never did. She never did get married. My grandfather, who was married, for 50 some years, was married. My father was married for 30 some years. my uncle was married for 30-some years, and even though his wife had her own career and he had his career, they were able to work things out. But this is what I've seen in my own family. I can testify to this. But the women who are single in my family, that they never have a relationship. I have a cousin who's 50 years older than me. She's a professor. She never had a relationship because, I love her and everything, but she's way out there. I mean, she's way out there. Her brother, on the other hand, he's way out there. But my sister, she been married, but she learned her lesson. Things didn't work out. He was being a knucklehead. She went to a couple of knuckleheads until she found the right man, and she finally knew what it's like before she turned 50. What it's like to be a wife. And she saw the example in my brother-in-law's family with stability, because all his brothers and sisters are married. So there is some kind of formula to it. They've been together for a while, because obviously they're still together. And so it tells me whoever married them, whoever ministered to them, did a good job of knowing how to communicate and understand what marriage is really about. Because for some reason, my brother-in-law's people, they all married. And that would shock me to see that there are black people in America that can hold longer marriages, but they understand what it takes, and both men and women understand that they have realistic expectations, and sometimes you have to renew that oneness, that loveness that you have. That's what it comes down to. But some people don't want to. People are, want too much. One wants enough, and the woman who was 56 years old, come on, let's be realistic. Some people are close to getting retirement at that age. They're not going to make that kind of money. But I say, what about the companionship when you at least get in your 50s and your 60s? And like the young guy brother was saying, you act like you're 20, 30 years old. You 50, you halfway to the grave. Past 50, you talk about you looking for 150 grand. Come on, let's be realistic. I mean, like you're gonna make some executive whatever. I mean, it's just unrealistic. That's why men are going to leave. Even men that are in their 50s and 60s. After hearing some foolishness like that, the ones who have it or retired on it, they ain't gonna, or the ones about to retire, what kind of mess is that? I'm right here. Well, we ain't looking for you, because you better wait. Wait on the Lord. That's the only thing I can tell that after 30 something years of marriage. That's the only one. That's basically what it is. Better wait on Jesus. That's because ain't no man like that coming. I'm sorry. At 56. The next thing, it's just unrealistic how, and I'm sorry to see that it's the same demographic of women, and it's black American women. I know there's black Canadian women probably thinking the same way, and black women from England think. I don't know what it with some of y'all, man. It's just that I've been trying to figure out what is with the mindset. But yet you say you want you want to be like, want your king and want your black man by your side, but you act like that's unrealistic. It's unrealistic. It wasn't during our grandfather's time. The grandfathers and grandfathers and grandaunt's time. Well, all of a sudden is at this time. Where they were repressed. They oppressed for what? They were living how they was kept. They were comfortable. They were somewhat happy at times. At least the cost of living was reasonable, and the money was a different time. It was a different time period. But the marriage lasts longer. Because let's have. They knew what commitment was until death do you part. Too bad some women today don't understand that. till death do you part. Not till the finances get better. Some of you women don't know what love is. It's obviously you don't know what love. And definitely that young lady was arguing with that young man. She don't understand. She don't understand. Until you figure it out. You don't understand until maybe sometimes God has to take something away for someone to appreciate it. And maybe that's what some men who are able to leave the United States, like Skylar and Andre, maybe it's going to take something like that to understand. And you're going to be left with men that going to be sharing. I don't want to deal with that's all you're going to be left with. Men is going to be that is going to deal with players and manipulators and control freaks, because that's what you're going to end up with. Or you can go the opposite way and deal with another woman, because there ain't no reasonable, rational man is going to let you go through that, do him like that. Ain't no man. So you might as well get your head out your butt with that one. This is what we're talking about. This is why some of us are leaving into some black women. Now you see what we're talking about. If you take time to listen instead of trying to argue down, try to make sense of it, and listen to the men. If you don't listen to the other half of your men, then they feel like, and you making them feel like they're a child, and talking to them like that, and I ain't gonna do this, and I ain't gonna, and you go overboard like that young woman, you're gonna lose your man. No man's gonna take that. I don't care, black man, white man, Hispanic, no man is gonna deal with that nonsense. And black men it's bad enough that when it comes to some of us, we gotta deal with it on the job. And then you come home and gotta deal with something like that? Come on now. You gotta take it out there in the world. He's gotta come to it twice. He don't have a peace. He's constantly gotta stand up and show that he's a man in this world. I'm not taking away from the other men of other races, because maybe some on an individual basis might go through that, but we got to take it the most. And then you coming at us with as we a child. You won't listen what we're saying. You won't take it. You don't know how to just listen what the man is saying and what the young man was saying. Like, don't talk to me like I'm a child. And then then you see how that young woman is. She want to argue her point. I ain't gonna take her, and it's all this energy stuff, and which is foolish. And you see what the man said, brothers, get your passport. That's something when men, that's the sign that when men say we're done arguing, get your passport. You want to go deal with the men that can want to wrestle and don't mind going back and forth because you're trying to put you in your place. And going to heat an argument to the point is the borderline domestic. We're not dealing with that no more. To the point that some men got to be emotionally drained, mentally, emotionally, trying to get you to understand, because you obviously you're not want to understand me, to love me, to understand that you got to listen to me. But and why does it take? And it's not till you said that you belittle the black man, put him as the boy, but when the white man come along and tell you the same thing, you seem to straighten up. Why does it take another race of man to kind of point this out to you? That just sometimes zip your lip and listen. Either that, or it might take the next thing that the Most High God to zip your lip. But this is what's happening, and this is going to keep happening. We're trying to tell you something. There's been other women that see that get sick. I've heard other women say, some of you women, and then you call them pygmies. Other black women that have common sense to see this, you call them pygmies. You ain't got that sister girl pride. You being less weekend. That ain't being strong. That ain't being independent. What's it gonna lead you? It's gonna lead you to loneliness. You have even criticized other women that see what the men are going through. and you still don't even get it. You still have expert reality. If a man, so if I'm making, I gotta make 100 grand, but you don't understand, like what Skyler said, 50, 60 grand is something else in another country. Get 50, 60 grand, but you want to be on a higher level, but you don't want the companionship. Who cares what money you got? That's not, the man wants the companion. Even if he has that amount or less over that amount, for me to respect you, for your companionship, are you serious? You putting a price on your companionship? Instead of maybe the fact that the guy is working and maybe not make that much, but he's busting his ass off, whatever occupation he's in. And some of you women that had that mindset, you're gonna be single for a long ass time, because the men who have it, who already at the level, they see what your mindset's about. They see that you're not about love. They're looking for love. Anybody, even if I was a millionaire, I want somebody to love me, not because of my stand, because what's in my bank account, in my portfolio. Because you're exposing yourself. And when you put, and I'm glad Kendra G put this, because you show who you really are. And for the men who have the wealth, you show them who you really are. No, that's all right. I want my woman to love me for me. Then I can give her, because I know she gonna do the right thing and love me for me. I don't care if a man makes 10,000 to a man to make 100 million. He wants the same doggone thing. But you women, some of you women don't get it. That money don't compensate it. What's in the heart. And any man can be rise up to the top, and the enemy can take it away. Or you going, and this has happened to men who was at the top of their game. So you gonna leave him? That tells you that's a character flaw in some of you women. You're not worthy. Then you pass, and some of you pass it off like it's the men. You know probably why some men probably left, because you didn't want to listen. You got headstrong towards the end of your life. He couldn't tell you anything. You didn't want to follow. Well, he'd stop, because you still want to live a certain lifestyle, and you're spoiled. That's probably what it was. And they make it sound like, oh, he was, and they'll run that man. You make it seem like that guy was a jerk. But we don't never hear his side of the story. I've seen cases like that. Like, she's telling you, but what about why they broke up after 30-some years of marriage? 20-some years of marriage. Or you see the woman that's been in a relationship 5, 6 times, 5 to 7 kids, and then she looking for another date. You got that question mentally? What's wrong with her? She don't know what love is. I'm telling you, she's not ready until she get herself aligned with the Creator. She's not ready. Her style ain't ready. And it's sad that even somebody getting in their 50s or 60s, they're still not ready. They might as well just stay single for the rest of their life. Because until they get their right and let God lead them and listen to them, that's the only way they're going, and show them what they are on the inside, that's the only way they're going to change. Ain't another man or woman can change some of these women in America and around the world, man. It's gonna take the Most High God to change them. It's nothing you can do. After you see it, please read, ain't nothing you can. They set in their mind. They're too independent. They set in their ways. Once a person set in their ways, that's it. They ain't come back around. Sometimes you have to set them down and let life pass them by, year, month, wait decades pass them by until they finally understand. That's what's gonna take. And they're gonna see men of all walks of life based on their character. Not only the 500 grand, the 100 grand men are leaving. It's gonna be the 50 men that make $50,000 gonna leave. The men that make $60,000 gonna leave. And it might be some men that make 30 grand gonna leave, and 40 grand gonna leave because they don't meet to your expectation. Because they're giving game on the internet on how to do it, but you women don't even see it. So good luck finding your fantasy prince. That's what I would say. And to all the ones that appear on Kendra Dree and on TikTok and other, good luck finding your fantasy man, because he ain't coming. Alright then, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, to salute to the men out there that's about to get their passport, go salute to you. Salute to you. Find where you're accepted. Find where you are loved. Find where you're appreciated. And hopefully some men will be encouraged to do the same. If you don't find it here, bruh, maybe you might have to find it somewhere else. That's to all the men. Alright, take care, be blessed. See you on this week.